Well, good morning from Cairnlea in the northwestern suburbs of Melbourne. You're joining us for the inaugural Brian Reither AC Challenge, and we've got some fantastic competitors for you to enjoy their play for this weekend. It's an invitational event for both established top-class, world-class players and some aspiring talent as well. I'm joined in the commentary booth by my friend and colleague, Pete Landreeb. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, Gareth, and thank you for inviting me back to the commentary team. It's been a while, and been looking forward to seeing some top play and joining you. It's
certainly a mouth-watering prospect for the weekend. Unfortunately, the weather in Cairnlea is a little on the damp side, but we're used to that very interesting contrast in seasons that you get in any particular day in Cairnlea. So by this afternoon, it could well be nice and sunny. So you've played at Cairnlea many times, Pete.
I have, and yes, it does look a bit damp, and there's no wind, which is always a bonus at Cairnlea. And
that's right.
To be fair, sometimes when the lawns have a bit of moisture on them, it's that they play a little bit truer, and the play, generally comes out a bit better than the dry conditions.
That's right. We were here a couple of weeks ago for the Owen Edwards Golf Croquet Challenge, and the lawns looked very brown, and they had recently been scarified, which means that they'd sort of had their surface stripped off them a little bit to encourage new, finer growth. And now they're looking quite green, Pete. So the lawns are looking a lot greener than they were a couple of weeks ago. What we're looking at the moment is Josh Wilson, who is ranked about in the top 50 in Australia, in the top 300 in the world, and he's just warming up. You can see he's got his full weather gear on there in anticipation of a bit more of a downpour. I hope that's not the case, but I don't know whether they've had the toss yet, Pete.
No,
you know whether that's happened?
Possibly not. Josh was practicing with all the balls, and sometimes once the toss has occurred, you just practice with the balls that you've been assigned to. So I don't think they have.
Yes,
and I haven't
right.
seen his opponent, Robert Fletcher, out and about, so possibly not.
Yeah, so as
our first matchup, Gareth, is, if I've got it right, is Robert Fletcher versus Josh Wilson.
That's correct, Pete. Yes. So as I was saying, it's basically the number one in the world versus someone who's ranked in the top, just outside of the top 250 in the world. What does Josh have to do to get a surprise result here?
Well, he knows there's Robert appearing on the screen in our corner there, having a practice. Oh no, it looks like first ball up. So
yeah, it does.
We might come back to that. The Josh's plan. Well, we just watched his opening shots, and it's a super shot from Robert Fletcher. And I'm not sure if he elected to go first or if he was put in first by Josh, but it'll be interesting to find out.
Yeah, so the tactics at the when you win or lose the toss are quite interesting. When you win the toss, you have the choice of playing the first shot, or you have the choice of which colour balls you play. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the game, it's one player takes black and blue balls, the other red and yellow. So Josh is playing now with the red ball, and he's decided to play his ball into what we call corner 2, which is the corner of the lawn, which is the furthest away from us.
Yeah. Hopefully just about 6 inches out of the corner, south of that corner, Gareth, and Robert will be shooting at this red ball with his blue ball. But if he does happen to miss, then it could be quite a juicy target for Josh. The two balls will be together.
That's right. So you're always trying to make it so that your opponent is not faced with a double target, but that you are. So
yes. Well, we didn't see the toss of the coin, but I was hoping if Josh did win the toss, that would be exactly what his tactic was, is to put that ball out in the middle of the court and take Robert on very early of getting the first break ahead of him. But Robert's turned that around and done it back to Josh.
Yeah, so Robert has decided that he's going to shoot at the red ball. Now, as Pete was explaining, the risk here for Robert is that if he misses, he then gives Josh a double target, because once he's marked the blue ball back in, there'll be 2 balls next to each other for Josh to shoot at. So Robert will need to sort of make this. He shoots and he misses, and he misses to the right.
So, well, I didn't see Josh line his ball in, so I'm not sure if it is a corner ball or if he did get the sweet spot just south of it. And it appears it is going to be 2 balls together. And that's a good opportunity for Josh. Nice wide target, a 13-yard shot, and a high percentage chance of hitting.
That's right, because even though the balls are 13 yards or 13 meters away, the fact that there's now a double target means that effectively the balls are only appear to be 7 meters away. So it really makes. I mean, it doesn't always seem that way when you're taking the shot, because when you've got a shot of about 7 yards, it always seems a lot further away.
Josh looks very composed out there. I mean, he you get rid of those thoughts that you're playing the world number one. You're on television and you've got the opportunity to put the first marker down in this game. Yeah,
I mean, it would be. We were saying at the beginning of the game that for somebody who's just outside the top 250 in the world, he's got to do something special. This is that special moment. If he can hit this,
is his first test moment. Yes, keep Robert off the lawn and keep your errors down, and hopefully you can win this game in as few amount of times you've got to come out on the lawn yourself.
Okay, so here we go. Shoots. Oh dear. Just goes off to the left.
It tailed. It
didn't look like
hit it firm, Gareth. It's and
no
scarifications on the lawn. You want to put a bit of pace into the shot so that it holds its line quite true.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that effort. You can see that it's a good 30 centimeters away from the red and the blue pairing. And unfortunately now, the balls were actually touching, Pete. Robert is taking a croquet shot. Yep. So a very nice view there of the way that Robert's placing the balls. He's taking what we call a croquet shot, where the blue striker ball is placed next to, touching the red ball, what we call the croquet ball. And then he plays the croquet shot, and then he plays another shot. And this shot is one where he's playing the blue onto the yellow to force it down towards the black. And that's what we call a rush. So we'll just update that on the mini map.
For our croquet players as viewers, they'll be fully aware of what Robert's up to. But for our non-croquet viewers that will be tuning in, it's association croquet. So it's a break style game, very much like snooker, while you're on the lawn and controlling the balls, your opponent's just sitting out and waiting for their opportunity to get back. So Robert will be positioning these balls and trying to make a break of as many hoops as he thinks is the tactically sensible amount of hoops to make. And so he has a rush with this blue ball onto the black ball towards hoop 1, which is this hoop down here with the blue top on it, and slightly awkward spot there, Gareth. He's rushed it too. He's got to get onto the other side of that hoop. It looks like
yes, it won't. It probably won't be troubling him too much, because his aim here, as Pete was saying, is to get the blue ball in front of the hoop. In other words, on the left-hand side of the hoop, as we're looking at it, and he should be able to do that quite nicely. And that will leave the black ball on what we call the non-playing side of the hoop, on the right-hand side of the hoop, and it will be there for him to pick up after he's been through. Because one thing we didn't mention was that when you have taken a croquet shot, you're now dead on that ball. You can't take croquet from it again until you go through the hoop.
Carefully, that hoop, and it looked like it appeared that there was a good opportunity that he'd roquet the black ball after running the hoop. So he's turned it into a hoop and rush, basically, which is set him up quite well for this break to be fully under control.
Yeah, it looks very nice. It looks very nice. So he is now going to take croquet from what we call the western boundary. So you can see that he's marking the black ball in about a yard. Well, it's a yard, so just a bit less than a metre from the boundary. And now his aim is to put the black ball over towards hoop number 3, which is on the right-hand side of the lawn. And that black ball is speeding off to hoop number 3, and at the same time the blue ball is ending up near the red ball, so it'll easily be able to roquet that.
And he's able to use these 3 balls before running hoop 2. He's alive on these 3 balls, and he's used now the black ball and the red ball, and he's still alive on the yellow ball to keep this break going.
That's right. So in general, when you're playing a break, which is what Robert is setting up, you've got the opportunity to use all 3 of the other balls before you go through the hoop that regenerates your life on all 3 again. And that means that you've got maximum possibility to maneuver all of the balls to exactly where you want them to be. So Robert is, of course, still live on the yellow ball. He'll roquet that now. When we say roquet, that means he's just touching it. And now, of course, he's dead on all the balls, but once he's been through this hoop, he'll be live on them all again. So this is immediately now Robert getting into his stride. And it's a tight break too, Robert. Gareth, the pioneers are close to the hoops, and we can see he's running the hoops from only inches out. And it is a position now as the out player of Josh that he'll be just gathering his thoughts. He knows he's probably not coming back onto this lawn for another 10, 15 minutes till Robert's. Ooh,
little
that's
bit
interesting.
An off shot there from Robert, but all recoverable. Just means he's leaving the yellow behind in the break, which puts a little bit of percentage of danger into the break, but he'll be able to recover, I'm sure. But going back, that Josh will be, as the out player, just gathering his thoughts, thinking, okay, well, I'm coming back on this lawn for a crucial shot in 10, 15 minutes, and getting yourself ready for the vital lift shot. Yeah,
so as Pete was saying, Robert would have liked it if he could have put the yellow ball down at hoop number 4, but the yellow ball got stuck there behind the hoop. And so now Robert is engineering to put the red ball down at hoop number 4 instead. And so you notice there that he played the red ball off towards the right-hand side of the screen, and that gives him some space now to play the red ball down towards us, down towards hoop number 4, whilst sending the blue ball over to the black, which is waiting at hoop number 3. You also notice there, Pete, the angle of Robert's mallet. It's slightly cocked, wasn't it?
Yes, and it's he's been playing with this Dawson mallet for a good 6 months now, and the ratio of the croquet shots are a little bit different to what his old mallet used to be. So it appeared he left the reds slightly short up to hoop 4, but again, still recoverable. Again, the blue's only running this hoop from inches, so he's going to get a nice controlled rush on this black ball back towards corner 2 area, and he'll be able to pick up the yellow back into the break, so it'll be all back on side.
Yeah. So as Pete was saying, he's rushing the black ball all the way back over to near the yellow, but behind it, so that he's got space. And that now will enable him to play the black ball down to hoop number 5, whilst at the same time staying on his side of yellow, which now means that he can rush the yellow over to where the red is, and basically the break is now all regenerated again.
Yes.
So he'll
be able to load hoop 5 here nicely and rush red into hoop 4. While this break looks like it's kind of settled, Gareth, maybe we can give the viewers a little bit of information about Robert Fletcher we're seeing on the screen.
Yes, well, Robert Fletcher, world number 1, previous winner of the World Championship, which that was the championship before last, I believe, Pete.
Yes, correct. Yes, he's Robert's been at the top of the rankings, generally number 1, sometimes number 2 or 3, but generally number 1 for at least the last decade, and featured in World Championship finals and been able to win a World Championship title as well. But besides the World Championships status, on the Australian domestic national scene, he's just about unbeatable. He loses very few finals that he reaches.
Yes, he's an incredible force in the game. The technique, the croquet brain as well. It's just all there, and he's playing with some pace now, Pete. You don't.
He's very much so. It shows that I think he's put some lawn time in leading up to this. He played the Golf Croquet Challenge, the invitation the other week, so that's put him in good position for this event.
Yeah, he's really motoring around here. This is quite unusual for Robert. He's got a reputation as an extremely thoughtful and careful player, and someone who takes his time on the lawn. And in this case, he's difficult to keep up with. He's playing like he did when he made the record for the world's fastest triple, which was a little fun competition that
you can find those on YouTube. As I said, the lawn, with this little bit of dampness and the scarifications that have just helped the levelness of the lawn, that I think Robert's trusting that everything's going to go where he aims it and land on where he thinks the ball's going to land, so he's able to play at this pace.
So he's placing the black ball, which of course is his partner ball. He's placing that sort of a hoop out of sequence, if you like, because normally they play the ball that they've the reception ball for a hoop up to the next but 1 hoop. But there he's played it to the next but 2. What's happening there, Pete?
Well, there was always the question if he was going to only make 6 hoops or 9 hoops, and he is making 9 hoops. So generally the reason to drop your own partner ball out of the break early to 2 back is you have a leave in mind, and that could be a hoop-bound leave with the balls left near hoop 2 and 4 as opposed to a diagonal spread leave through the middle of the court. So it'll be interesting to see his thinking there. Yes.
Well, he's definitely signalling, as you say, that he's not going to try for what we call a sextuple leave. He's going to go for a leave which will set him up for a triple peel. and it looks like he's taking both the opponent balls over to hoop 2. So we might have what's known as a 2-4 leave.
A 2-4 leave or an MSL, a more standard leave, if you can put one of these balls on the leg of hoop 2 to really make life difficult for Josh if he does manage to get in.
Yes, well, Josh may only be having one more shot in this game. Robert is in such good touch.
Going back to your earlier comment, Gareth, I'm not sure if I've seen Robert play at this pace for a long time. This is encouraging signs that he's fully in control.
It's incredible. I mean, I'm trying to keep pace with what he's doing by adjusting the little ball positioner map, which I hope that the viewers are appreciating.
Yep.
And I'm severely lagging behind. I think actually this is wonderful because he's actually stopped to do something here. So he's just playing the yellow ball out to the to the western boundary, and engineering a perfect rush
from Robert.
So there was just a beautiful shot with the yellow, really, wasn't it? It was simple but elegant because he just got a rush down towards what is hoop 8, but which we association players call 2 back. And now his job is to send the red ball over to the hoop in the bottom right hand side of the lawn, hoop number 9 or 3 back as we call it, and whilst at the same time holding a rush on the black. So everything going perfectly for Robert at the moment. Absolutely textbook stuff. And
so he'll be only making these 2 more hoops, Gareth, before he'll be retiring from the court. And the reason for that is there's a position in the game where you give away what we call a lift shot, where Josh is able to walk on the lawn, pick up one of his balls or play it from where it lies. But if Robert was to make more than these 2 hoops, or 1 hoop now, then Josh would have a bigger advantage where he wouldn't have to hit a ball. He'd be able to just take a position on the court deemed already of hit. So it's a compulsory position to stop, and not compulsory, I shouldn't use that word, sorry. It's the most tactically sensible line of play is to make 9 hoops if you can get in first.
Well, he's shaping up for what we would call an NSL, Pete, by the looks of things.
Yes. Yeah.
And this is where
he's left that a little bit short, so he's got to play a delicate croquet shot to get the ball in front of the hoop. And
but the way he's positioned the balls for the croquet shot is not really telegraphing that. Yes, now it's a little bit more. But what he's aiming to do ultimately here is put the red ball on the right hand, so leave the red ball against the leg of the right hand side of the hoop. Oh yes, and that's beautiful, isn't it?
And if the blue ball can run past this red without touching it, it's in perfect position, and then you can rush the red back towards the leg of the hoop.
Yeah. So an NSL is what we call a non-standard leave. So as Pete was saying, at the end of a player making 9 hoops, their aim is to leave the balls in a disadvantageous position for their opponent. And we'll get a really nice view of how disadvantageous this is going to be for Josh in a moment, because the red ball is going to be right up against, or not right up against, but in a position that the leg of the hoop makes it impossible for Josh to have a swing at the ball. So even though Robert's balls will be placed quite close to where the red is, Josh will not be able to hit them. It is very frustrating, and we call that a non-standard, a new standard leave. Sorry, a new standard leave. So I've preempted that on the mini map. I've already put the black ball and the blue ball in the positions that I predict they'll be in. Just getting one step ahead of the world champion, which is the only time that will ever happen. So you can see here that Robert has placed the balls really close to Josh's red, but poor old Josh won't be able to actually hit them because he won't have a backswing with his red ball at those two. And of course, the yellow ball is miles away. Now, I'm not sure whether we can expand the mini map so we can see that position for the viewers just a little bit bigger, because that would be nice. Yeah, there we go. So you can see here that the red ball is actually really, really close to the black and the blue, but it can't actually swing at them because the hoop is in the way of the backswing. And the yellow ball over here is a very long way away. Now, the one thing that Josh can do is pick up one of those balls. He can pick up the yellow ball or the red ball, and he can play that ball from either the bottom left-hand side of the court or the top right-hand side. So at the moment, he's walking around the lawn looking to see which ball he should pick up. Which one would you pick up, Pete?
I'd be picking up the red ball and going up to the top north boundary. But is your mini map able to show what A and B balk is, Gareth?
Well, I can wiggle my mouse on there and show where they are. But basically, the A balk is the bottom left-hand side of the court, and the B balk is the A balk is the area of the court that runs down here, just where my mouse is moving down there. And then the B balk is the sort of diagonally opposite position to that. So it's the position at the top right of the lawn where the mouse is moving around now. So those are the two positions that Josh can take his shot from. He can pick up either the yellow ball or the red ball. Pete would pick up the red and take it up to the top right-hand corner. I think I would probably pick up the yellow and take it down to the top right. But we're both.
Yes, we can give Robert's leave a 10 out of 10. The black and blue distances are, and I'll talk in yards for a minute. That is, the black and blue has got about a 21 to 22 yard shot for this red ball. And if he played it from A balk, it's about 19 to 20 yards. So it's not much difference in the shot, maybe 18 yards. So taking the shot that gets the ball down into corner 4, if he does miss, may slow up Robert slightly. And I think that's the reason Josh has come up here. And the choice of between red or yellow is very little for Robert, with a peeling percentage of high 80s to 90.
Yeah.
We'll talk about possible peeling decisions in a minute. That's a good swing from Josh, and it's just inside.
Yeah. So again, his just as he missed the first one slightly to the left, he's put that one to the left as well. It's very, very difficult when you're playing someone of Robert's caliber. You know that you're only going to have a couple of chances.
He played it at a good pace. I like the pace he played it. Cairnlea boundaries down from B balk have always been a tricky shot. They're never the truest shot, and that sometimes makes it more attractive to play from A balk. But I think that was more Josh hitting it slightly left than the lawn taking it left. Yeah.
Although the scarifications do run in that direction, and if you're unlucky to pick one of those little troughs up,
its line.
And now Robert will demonstrate to us how a triple peel is executed. So the first shot of that process is to pump the blue ball over to the western boundary near where the opponent's yellow ball is sitting, and then he'll be looking to put the blue ball near hoop 2, whilst at the same time.
Sorry, Gareth, he's quite close to the yellow, so he's not going to get this blue all the way to 2. So he's still got to play a few good shots to get this break under control.
Yeah, so as Pete was saying, the priority here is to keep the rush on the yellow. That's the really important thing. It doesn't really matter where the blue goes within reason. And this was the most important thing, to get a beautiful direct line from towards hoop one with the black and the yellow lined up on that line. So there it goes. What do you think of that one, Pete?
Oh, no, it's very good. There's a little bit of tail at the end of the ball, the yellow slowing down, but it's only a yard and a half rolling for Robert, and I expect he won't be pushing this all the way up to the hoop with the black ball, but hopefully if he has a foot to a foot and a half running hoop, he should be happy.
So one of the things with lesser players of my standard, for example, is that I would be playing that rush too close to the hoop, and that would mean that when I came out of the hoop, I wouldn't have the latitude that Robert is going to have to get a forward rush. So Robert has given himself a what we call a forward rush here, going up to the next hoop.
Although even for a number one in the world, these are never a nice shot. It was the first run of the hoop that he's had that's been back more than a foot, and he did get a little bit of wire, so it means the black ball hasn't jumped through by the few yards he was hoping. And so it's the first time he's also taken a bit of time over the shot and expressed taste. Right. But so it means that the head's working very well. You recognise this is my first slight testy little thing I've got to deal with, and he's slowed himself down to make sure this is on the money.
This is really nerve-wracking. Yep, does it nicely. But it just gets the kick slightly on the wrong side. He'd have enjoyed it more.
Ball, Yep. But it's
because now
no matter how many games you've played, and they're never easy, and you're always slightly nervous of that first critical smallish roquet that you're facing.
Yes, those. I think you're calling it smallish is relative, Pete. I think I would definitely be. My knees would have been knocking with that one. So. So it's slightly, it's not as good a position for him as he would have liked, because now he can't really load hoop 3 in the way that he would have liked to. Oh, he's given it a pretty good go though, hasn't he? That yellow ball is,
It's probably one of the advantages for Robert playing with this Dawson mallet is there's a good range of croquet shots, and he was able to squeeze that yellow towards hoop 3 and still control the black ball to a nice rush position.
That is, that's amazing. I really didn't think he would be able to do any better than getting the yellow sort of in the midway between hoops 2 and 3, but he's done it absolutely beautifully. So he just had to push the blue through there at the same time, because he doesn't score that point again. The blue has already scored the hoop. Now somehow he has to get the blue the blue over to hoop number 3, because that remember is blue has got to make that
Gareth.
Right. Oh, so he'll be doing the delay.
Because the red ball's down in corner 4, he's got to hold the break.
Yeah.
Keep the break under control till he gets an opportunity to get the red out of corner 4.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you say, he's going to delay doing the triple peel. He's not going to try and force the peelee over to hoop number 3 immediately.
Ideally, this blue ball goes just past the point or to the east of hoop 4, and that could be better. That's the perfect spot.
Yeah.
So when he does come down to corner 4 to dig it out, he can come nicely behind that blue ball.
And the yellow ball just rushed a little bit past the hoop, but that's all fine. Yep. But as Pete was saying, if you look at the mini map, no, I was going to say, if you look at the mini map view, you can just to.
It's all in control.
Reiterate what Pete said, that the blue ball is. And through he goes.
Yeah, a couple of shots he's just been playing a little bit long. It's sometimes that because he is playing such at a quick pace, and it's a little bit out of a bit of a change for Robert. He's usually, quite deliberate and takes his time over every shot. He's playing at a good clip, and it just means sometimes that the balls aren't quite on the money that you expect them to go. So this is another tricky shot that some players don't enjoy, Gareth, is taking off as a croquet shot from the ball all the way down towards corner 4. And you can see the wind blowing at his shorts there. So that means the wind's picked up as well. And you're hoping to land within 4 yards of this red ball in corner 4 as to take any danger of missing this shot. And if the camera comes down a little bit, we should be able to see it. And he's nice and close. It's only 2 to 3 yards.
Yeah. I mean, I again, my knees would be knocking at this one. That's nothing for Robert. That's all good.
Yep. And this ball will go to hoop 5. Going while he gets behind the hoop, the blue board hoop 4, and then he can set it up for his peeling movement back up to where the yellow ball is.
Yes. So we've had a question. We had a question, Pete, about peeling and what we mean by peeling, and it's basically where on your break. Like, for example, the moment Robert playing with his black ball is able to push his blue ball through a hoop that it is live for. So the blue ball isn't being struck directly, it's being struck indirectly through the hoops. And it's the sign of a real grade A croquet player that they're able to do this with some regularity. But we'll see it happen in a moment. Yes. I'm sure we'll see at least an attempt.
And just to add to that, Gareth, the reason why you would do that, because it puts your break at a little bit more risk, is he made 9 hoops on the first break, and if he went any further, he was handing the lawn over to Josh. But on the second break, if he goes and makes 12 hoops with his black ball, it means he's also letting Josh back on the lawn. And it would take him 3 turns to finish this game, Robert. 3 turns of scoring hoops. Whereas if he can peel this blue ball through his last 3 hoops from 4 back penultimate rover, it means the game would finish and Josh wouldn't even get back on the lawn. So that's the reason the lead is what it was, and why he would put this break at risk and not have a ball loaded at hoop 6. So he'll be attempting to finish this game on this turn.
And that was such a brilliant rush, wasn't it, up the park there? Because
yes. Yeah, we missed we missed the skill of that shot.
Yeah, because now Robert is in a position where he can peel this even before making hoop 5. So
yes, and another bonus of slightly damp lawns, Gareth, is they don't move around as much. It'll hold its line pretty true where he's aiming it. Well, ooh, there we are. That one wrong. Well, that pulled to the left a bit.
That's right.
Looks and like Pete's introduced the right leg.
Pete introduces there another croquet term of pull. So maybe you could explain to us what pull is, Pete.
On the croquet stroke, if you line the 2 balls up pretty well straight and you hit straight, then there's no deviation with the front ball. But as soon as you make your striker's ball go on an angle, and if you make it go on an angle of 45 degrees, pretty well what Robert did on that shot, there's an element of pull comes from the ball. That means the ball swings in that direction that you're going, and it's a little bit of experience and lawn knowledge of how much pull you have to allow for that ball to get into the jaws of the hoop. And it looked like Robert aimed it just towards the right-hand leg, not expecting it to pull that very much, but it's swung the whole ball with across. And
the other interesting thing,
a little bit of, difficulty.
Yeah,
you'll be able to cope.
The other interesting thing with the pull, Pete, is that the viewers may not realise that the balls are actually not smooth. They've got little grooves on, and that can affect the pull as well, can't it?
Yes, yeah. The newer the ball, if the surface is a little bit smooth or waxy or glossy, and the size of the little knurling type dimples on the ball, if they haven't been worn down, that's when the pull is generally at its maximum. The grass affects it slightly as well. Your action on your mallet, all those little things add up to how much pull you generally need to allow. And I think that one would have surprised Robert. He is an exceptional triple peeler or peeling movements all in every event he plays, and he generally would be expecting to get that one through the hoop or into the jaw of the hoop as a minimum. And for it to go past means he's got a bit of work to bring it all back together.
Yeah.
And again, that's probably the shot of the game. That's a brilliant shot to get this. Oh, I'll keep going on that, Gareth. To be able to get that black ball that close to the blue ball, but be able to rush it now back into peeling position and get it all back into position that quick is exception.
It is. And there's a replay of Robert's peel attempt where the pull of the ball, you could see there, really took the blue over towards the left-hand side. But as Pete said, that was just an exceptional shot from Robert to be able to play a roll shot, and we haven't fully explained what a roll shot is yet, but it's a shot where both the striker ball and the croquet ball go the same sort of length, but also to put it on that very spot, which is the ideal spot for the next peel attempt. Unbelievable. Really, really amazing stuff.
And he'll be able to play this peel, Gareth, with very, very little pull or no pull. He'll be just keeping the black straightish to be able to rush the yellow to hoop sits. He may want the black a little bit closer to yellow, but it doesn't matter if he keeps the black dead straight and has a bit of a cut on yellow, because he needs this blue ball in the jaws as a minimum. No, he's still putting some pull on it, so
yeah, he's still
the knowledge he got from the last shot.
Oh no! He's put it around the other side. He doesn't
know. Okay, and Robert never shows much frustration, but some of the scarifications could be having something to do with the results.
Yes, I think you're right. I think that the surprise on in Robert's reaction there is really that's not pull. That's troughs.
No, yeah. Yep. The bonus is the red ball's north of one back, so he does have an opportunity still to peel this blue ball going to a deep red ball, but that's going to test anyone out, so not just Robert.
So what you're saying here, Pete, is that what does he need to do with the black after it's come through the hoop?
He needs to get himself in a position where he can get the blue ball back into the front of the same hoop that he's been attempting to peel that ball through, and play a croquet stroke that gets it through on the third attempt while going to the red ball, which is,
so he's put
a bit of distance.
Well, that's a nice shot, isn't it? Thumping the black up towards the yellow, and it's gone past the yellow enough for it to have a rush on the yellow if he so chose, but he doesn't. He just pops it into the middle of the line between hoops 2 and 3, and now he will do that all-important shot that Pete was talking about, going over to the blue, try to maneuver the blue in front of the hoop, and then play the peeling shot going to the red. So let's see how that works out for him.
A few of our viewers who are familiar with Robert and seen him play, or non-croquet people who've seen Robert on the television before, may notice that on those setups for the peel, he generally lies on the ground, and that's, you know, wet or dry conditions. It's that important for him to get that line right for the peel, but he's not quite doing that, and he's playing at a faster pace. So maybe it's a slightly different approach he's taken to some of the shots, or he's got something in mind. So it'd be good to find out from Robert if they're deliberate choices not to lie down on the ground and sight them slightly, how he has always done in the past.
Yeah.
So he's not peeling this going to the red ball. He's setting it up for a rush to two back on yellow, Gareth.
Yes, that's right. So he's going to leave the blue there in that nice position. He's going to take the black ball over to the red, and the yellow ball that's sitting there is actually his pioneer for two back, which is the hoop right down the bottom left of the court. So it's an amazing thing to think that would be the pioneer ball. But that's correct, isn't it, Pete?
Yes, exactly that, Gareth. There's very few players in the world who will be putting their break at this much risk to get those peels, but Robert's certainly one of the ones that are capable of doing this.
Well, we're certainly glad that Robert is going for this, because this is a fantastic lesson in, you know, how a triple. Essentially he's taken the whole of the sequence of play from hoop 3 onwards has been dedicated to getting that blue ball peeled through the hoop, and he's not giving up on it. Fantastic display of commitment and resilience here. Ooh, dribbles through that a little bit. Don't know whether he's still got a swing on the red. It looks a little bit hampered from here, Pete.
A little bit hampered. I think he got lucky though, Gareth. I think that bobbled just enough through.
Well, the scarifications give and the scarifications take away, don't they?
And he's not calling a referee to watch his hampered shots. I think he feels he's quite clear. Clear the shot.
Okay. So, will he be putting the red ball down towards 3 back at this? Yeah.
I can't quite see the angle going to 4 back. It's crucial that he gets the position with the black ball on the blue ball. So he may play it as a thickish takeoff, or he's putting red back down to 4 back as well. Taking all 4 balls down there. So red will be the rush.
Oh, right.
Back.
Right.
Well, Robert came through 1 back, Gareth, and he only got a little nick on that slightly hammered shot. I think that walk to pick up the black ball might have been a handy little walk for Robert to slow down and gather a few thoughts to think, okay, got to tighten this up and finish this off. So just sometimes that can be the little turning point for you to get it all back together. That's a nice shot.
So Pete, why has the red ball gone over? Why has he put the red ball over to this hoop when?
Well, he's going to be trying to get this blue ball either through this hoop 4 back or in the jaw or 4 back as a minimum. So after 2 back, which he'll be making off yellow, he will then come back up to this hoop and either finish off getting the blue through the hoop or set it up towards Penalt and rush red down to 3 back.
I got you. Yeah. So just as the yellow ball is the pioneer for 2 back, red is the pioneer for 3 back.
Correct. Yes. Now, even though 2 back pioneer with yellow is further away than 3 back, it's a nicer rush because you're playing to what we call an even number of hoops, so that you can always go through the boundary on the hoop run, whereas rushing down to 3 back can be a little bit scary, a little bit tricky. It means you've got to get good control from it. you don't have the luxury of running the hoop firm and going to a short boundary. So he needs 3 or 4 good shots in a row here that have got to be right on the money.
Ooh,
That
that's
like
gone. It's gone about 3 or 4 yards off to the west of hoop 2. So it's not ideal, but
not ideal, but
it was
it's not
right
crucial. Black's just got to be somewhere within a few feet away from the hoop, and as I say, he can crash through this hoop all the way to the boundary. And the yellow should be a good reception ball for it. So this isn't too difficult. I think free back will be the slightly more difficult one, because the rush has got to be better. Yeah, so it's a nice shot. Okay. A little bit of an angle, but as I say, he can play this on some power and a bit of pace. So hopefully he doesn't get those bobbles when he was controlling the hoop runs that he got before.
Yes, he doesn't need to play this with any finesse at all. Yeah, bang, it goes, and
unluckily he clipped the yellow ball, has he?
He did. I think he did. Yep. I think he did clip the yellow ball. Yep.
Okay. It means another big roll, another big croquet.
Another big roll. This is a big roll. So this is a great example of a roll here. He needs to send the black all the way up the lawn to where the blue is sitting, of course, in the jaws of 4-back. But at the same time, he needs to take the yellow all the way up there as well, towards penultimate or hoop number 11. So this is where he needs both balls to move a very long way. And if the ground is a little bit wet, it's doubly tricky.
You need a mixture of good technique, but you also need a bit of strength. And it's the one shot where a bit of just going slightly astray, that shot.
Yeah,
won't be happy
because he's now on. No, he won't. Well, the biggest problem here, Pete, is that he's on the north side. He's on the wrong side of the blue. He can't put it through now, can he?
No, I think he's even looking that this is a dodgy croquet to take on, because he may only have half a ball or less than half a ball. And he obviously can't just hit red, because it's not going to be rushing towards free back. So he may be forced to play at this blue ball at quite a bit of pace to keep him on track. And good chance that he gets a random result from it.
Would you consider abandoning the peel here and basically going for the red, rotating the red, and then getting the rush on the blue down to 3-back, and then so you sort of say,
yes, and completely valid line tactic, Gareth, but I think for Rob, at the pace he's been playing and the determination to get these peels through, that's not even in his thought process. He's just going.
He's going for this. And, so the referee out there to check.
As I say, he's got to play at a medium pace and kept it on line. That's a good shot.
It is.
And he got a good result out of that. That could have been, a random result. That blue could have clipped, and if you got it cleaner than that, it could have, clipped and not even been in a peeling position.
So the referee, I think that was Mike Coden, wasn't it, who came out to referee that shot?
Yes, Mike Coden, who's he's very well credentialed and established referee here at the VCA. He's also going to be tournament referee for the upcoming McRobinson Shield. In late 2022. So this is all good practice to be able to get out here and be amongst the very best players.
Well, this is now Robert's 4th attempt at this peel, or maybe 5th. I can't remember now, but he's certainly determined to get this peel. Now, just to remind the viewers. Well, what he's got to do is not just get the blue through, he's got to get the black in a position where it can rush the red down to the next hoop. And I think that he sort of has got that.
Yeah, he's got a bit of cut, but he can power this down towards the self boundary. The danger is if you overcut it and try to get it too close to 3-back, is it can fall short and then you have a tricky takeoff. So generally you're best to make sure you get the strength of the shot and get it down towards the self boundary and come up behind the hoop.
That looks pretty nice, and maybe a little short, Pete.
I think again he got a bit much cut on that shot, but the pace he played it looked like he thought he could have floated that in. But as I say, this is the tricky situation where now you're forced to take off. Yeah, well, never to doubt how Robert plays it, but I expected him to push that a lot further than that and come up behind the hoop.
Yeah.
But
this is very interesting, Pete.
Really, because we've got the make him into play again.
Scarifications. Yeah, we've got the scarifications.
Great camera angle, and it's swinging in. Oh, he's read them perfectly. He should be playing golf, not croquet. That's a great shot.
Yeah, that was brilliant, wasn't it?
And the pace is great as well. He's nicely controllable position. Yeah, good shot.
Yes, our producer Kate has pointed out that one of Robert's well justified professed skills is his ability to read a lawn, but to be able to read those scarifications like that is a new skill entirely, I'm sure. Well, still 2 hoops to peel, Pete. How does he do it from here?
2 hoops to peel. Well, red goes towards Penalt, that hoop in the middle north area. Doesn't want it right in front of the hoop. He wants it out of the way because blue's got to get over there as well. And I think he's sighting blue now, isn't he? He's going to blue. So he'll try to get a rush on blue over to that hoop as well. And make 4 back off yellow. And again, perfect. And yellow's not in the way of the hoop, so everything achieved very well. He needs to cut this blue a little bit to get it over towards the yellow. Maybe he's...
the hoop's a bit in the way, isn't it? If he gets this wrong.
Both people here would be just making 4 back with the blue ball while it's here, but he's determined to finish these peels.
Oh, beautiful shot. What a shot. Look at that. It's going, it's almost in front of penultimate. Unbelievable. What a brilliant shot to be able to cut the ball like that.
He can play a takeoff shot from the left-hand side of this blue. That'll push blue just nicely into towards peeling position. Hopefully give himself a rush on the yellow ball back over to 4 back. And again, as I say, 4 backs are an even number hoop, so it's going to a short boundary, and everything should be controllable from there. He can play that 4 back hoop with a bit of pace and power.
So Robert now playing the croquet shot from in front of penultimate. Remember, blue is still to peel this hoop, and black is still to make hoop 4 back, which is the one in the top right-hand corner of the screen, or just off screen at the moment. So that's...
Yeah, we're using our croquet terms a lot here, like penultimate rover, whereas penultimate is, the second last hoop 11 of the game, and the last hoop down in the bottom and with the red top is called rover. So we changed the language around a little bit, but there'll be a few people who wouldn't be quite understanding what we're saying, but that's what it is.
Yes, the first 6 hoops on the croquet lawn are all named very sensibly, but then it starts to all to get quite bizarre, doesn't it?
There'll be a few of the KO viewers from the other weekend who watched the golf croquet, and they are simply, 1 to 13 with none of this penultimate bits and pieces. But so hopefully some of those viewers have come back and seeing this different code of association croquet, seeing the differences between the two.
Well, that was a nice looking shot by Robert. Now he's back in control, and he's aiming to put the yellow about halfway down, I suppose, Pete, towards the peg.
Yeah, just past the peg, but you don't want it right in the middle. That it could be in the track of the blue ball striking it when it peels through penult, so yellow's perfect. Red's going to be a nicely positioned escape ball from when the black pops through the hoop, because this peel coming up, Gareth, is he'll be putting both balls through at the same time, which is something different to what we've been seeing on the other peels. He'll be rushing blue as close as he can to this hoop and straight as he can, and playing a stroke that the blue ball goes all the way down to Rover, and the black ball either ends up in the jaws of the hoop or through. So that red has to be delicately placed so that he doesn't get hampered on it. There's just some randomness to what happens to this black ball as it comes through.
Well, he's placed the
blue.
He's
getting on the ground a bit more.
Yep. Nice shot there. Robert's sizing up the angles. And as Pete said, in this shot, he's not only going to put the blue ball through, but he needs to put the black ball through as well. Because remember, black has played all of the balls now, so it's dead on everything. So to rejuvenate its powers, it needs to go through too. So there it goes.
He's disappointed in that. The blue ball he wants another 5-6 yards on, but means to finish this turn, Robert's requiring a good rush up to Rover on the blue ball and a possible good peel to follow. So red ball wants to be down here south of Rover, Gareth, and he wants to get yellow in a position where he can still get a controllable rush on blue ball. And he may sacrifice having 2 escape balls at this Rover hoop to make sure of that controlled rush to the hoop with the blue. No, he's played red deep, so that means he is rushing. He's going to rush yellow and also put yellow down below Rover by the look of this.
Yep, it has not gone entirely to plan, that one, but a player of Robert's standard will no doubt be able to rescue the situation.
No, it was a deliberate. I mean, he had two options, and well, it's been a great.
So Robert, now the crucial thing is to get the rush on the blue, and there it is.
Oh, yellow's perfectly placed. That's a great shot.
Yeah. Well, so this rush is now all important. Needs to put the blue ball right in front of the hoop. And, straying off a little bit to the side there, Pete.
Yeah, that's... Yeah. This is the beauty now of where his red ball is, because he may be able to play this with jawsing the blue and jumping over the blue ball to go to the red ball.
Yeah, fascinating situation here, because remember on the last hoop, Robert put both the black and the blue through at the same time. And on this one, he's not going to be able to do that because the angle is just too great. So he's got to prioritize, well, as Pete was saying, putting the blue into the jaws, and then he can knock the black, he can play the black through jumping over it, but also pushing it through at the same time. Is that what you think he'll do, Pete?
Yes, yeah. But this means, when we were talking about the pool before, this blue ball's going to move slightly to our right. So it's a delicate shot to get just right with getting that blue into the jaws, because the black ball also needs to be come over to the jumping position and far enough back from the blue ball to get up.
Yeah. So many things that have to happen in this one. Yeah. No, so he's got to get the blue. The blue's got to be in the jaws, and the black ball's got to be in a jumping position.
He's playing this with power, I think, Gareth. I think he's
right,
both through. Yeah.
Oh, he is. Oh, one.
And-
Oh, look at,
No. That's
it's
blue,
gone out.
blue
It's
ball
gone
can't
out.
go out on that shot.
No.
But there's also the danger of that black ball hitting that leg and not being able to run. So you didn't have.
Well, there you go.
Possibly didn't have. No, well, you don't see that very often. The Rover peel going out, Gareth. So he got the peel clean. It's just too clean.
That's right.
And
So Josh
Josh
has a chance. Yep.
Yeah.
A big opportunity for Josh. Yeah, a big opportunity. So you can see now, because Robert went through the one of the penalty hoops, 1 back or 4 back, it means that Josh has the opportunity of what we call a lift shot, which is where he can pick up either his yellow or his red ball and play them from the A or B bulk areas that we were explaining earlier. Now, it probably, because the balls are so close, Josh doesn't need to do that, although I suppose he'll want to give himself a rush on that blue by picking up the red, Pete.
Yes, that's a good lining play, Gareth. Sorry, I was.
Yeah.
Thinking,
so
possibly what Josh's tactics are once he gets his break established. But yes, that your line of play is good.
So just for the benefit of the viewers, Josh can pick up either his yellow ball or his red ball if he wants to. Obviously, he shouldn't have any difficulty making a roquet, hitting one of another ball. But I suspect that what he'll try and do is pick this red ball up and sort of put it over here so that he's got a rush. He can play that blue into the court, right? Whereas where it is at the moment, he can't play it in. Oh, well, there we go. What do I know? He's actually just played the shot. So,
So
I suppose it gives him more room to
so
put
he'd
that
be
up to
loading.
hoop.
Yeah.